Hello, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. On deck, we've got what should be a great matchup between the Detroit Lions and the Portland Snowhawks. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you very much. It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment. Pyrotechnics, you name it, this crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Detroit Lions and the Portland Snowhawks. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And Charles, we look at this Portland team entering play. They've been buoyed by getting 2 home games right at the start, and they come off a good victory in Week 1. Meanwhile, for the Lions here, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes it actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory.
The first game's out of the way. Time to buckle down for the long season ahead, and we're off in Week 2. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. They'll be led out by a former Pro Bowl quarterback out of the University of Georgia, Matthew Stafford.
And I'll bet right now it's just one thought in his mind.
Win the game.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. He played pretty well. I mean, he didn't turn over the ball in terms of interceptions,
no,
right?
2 touchdown passes last week.
2 touchdown passes, but when your team doesn't win, that's just hollow. And the best quarterbacks don't care about anything but whether or not their team won.
Set, move 60. Watch the screen. Pass. Jumper.
The first carry now. This is Johnson. It's a loss of 4 on that first play, and it's second down.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers putting up their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the second and the third level.
They'll get a couple yards back, but not more than that. They'll be left with 12 yards to go on third down.
Ready. Move 60. Come on.
Out of the gun, Stafford. He finds Matthews. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
There's an example of good situational football being played by a defense. They understood where the third down play was, the down and distance, and made sure that they didn't get anywhere near that, bringing up 4th down.
Yeah, they were sniffing out that marker, didn't want to let him get close to there, and now a likely 3 and out to start.
Yeah, I love the way they rallied to the football and got to him and made sure he didn't give up much run after catch.
So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And here's a look at their leader.
Still first down.
The delay of game backs him up 5, 1st and 15.
I'm going to come back to you.
This is McCaffrey. And he's taken down. It's a gain of 3 from the 17 to the 20. And this offense can air it out, and when they do, you have to key on Mike Evans.
And we do think about his catch radius first and foremost. A tall, lean receiver, but he actually can make some agile plays as well.
On the set. 56 is the mic. Get him, get him, get him.
Here we go on 2nd and 12. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. This unit, they've struggled a little bit against the pass, ranked number 21 in the league.
They'll take that play right there each and every snap because throughout this season, they've giving up some big plays. To be able to hold someone to no gain, oh yeah, they'll take that one all game long.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Here I come again. Here I come again. Hey, watch this, watch this. Smooth. Snap.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Trey Flowers, the former Arkansas Razorback, in there to get him.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time, and the Lions will take over. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Stafford gives to Johnson on the draw. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. From the gun, here's Stafford. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Devin White coming in to drop it for a loss of 8, and it also brings up 4th. You know darn well both of these teams reviewed the film and saw that this defense had 5 sacks last week. They got to keep their QB upright.
And they're going to try their best to do exactly that. But they're facing a team where getting to the quarterback is a mindset. It's a mantra for them. And they play a game within the game. And you know what it is? Let's race to the quarterback and see who gets there first.
So here is the home side to take over on offense. And on the first drive, 3 and out. I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
Go! 60 Pittsburgh. Man, I got you. Man, I got you. Get it.
The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey. And he'll be upended after a gain of 5, up to the 25-yard line. The numbers for McCaffrey last week: 12 carries, 62 yards.
I was so glad you asked for a couple of offensive linemen to talk to before the game, because they told us that in last week's contest, everything was clicking. Didn't matter whether they were doing gap scheme, zone scheme, power, whatever it was working, and they expect more of the same in this game, although they're prepared for some adjustments by the defense they expect to see.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Danny Shelton muscles his way in for the sack.
Now, that's a pretty darn good start to his season, huh? A sack in the opener, adds a second one here. That tells you about his offseason. He came in determined to have a big year, and it's paying off.
Wahoo! Mike 50, Mike 50. Hey, defense, let's go. Check 10.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. And the pressure gets to him again. Jarrett Davis providing a little deja vu, back-to-back sacks, and now they're staring at a 4th and long. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed in this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And that will come the offense as they take over. A first look at the NFL scoreboard comes from down in Arizona, and the early lead there belonging to the Cardinals. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 49. They'll run for the first time with Phillip Lindsay. And he is across midfield from 149 to the other 49, a gain of just 2. He was a 2nd-round pick. Many scouts.
Any particular team, I had a first-round grade on him, and frankly, I'm surprised he lasted to the 2nd round. They got a steal with this player.
They added a lot of talent to a roster that really needed an infusion of youth. They got a very good infusion.
And they didn't really reach to get anyone as well.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Jamal Adams, and he's just across midfield and down at the 49-yard line.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
On first down, this is McCaffrey. Broke through some contact, but unable to reach the 40. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. 2nd and 3. It's caught by Mike Evans. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Give him 14 on that one and a first down. On first down, he'll drop to throw. They'll set up the screen to McCaffrey. And he gets into the end zone for the touchdown. Christian McCaffrey, his first touchdown here of the new campaign, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. There are several elements to a well-executed screen pass. This one resulted in a touchdown. It had all of those elements.
Yeah, you're so right, because you really need to rush to almost get to the quarterback, almost get to the passer. Then you've got to get the ball thrown perfectly, whether it's to the running back, the wide receiver, whoever the screen guy is. And, of course, the blocking has to form in front to get him downfield for the touchdown.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
After 7-0 on EA Sports. Following the penalty, it's Johnson. So he got free of one tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. It's a gain of 3, and it'll be 2nd down. Now on 2nd and 16. Stafford, that's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hockenson. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
That'll be taken in there by Kenny Golladay. And this effort will not get it done. He stopped well short of the first down at the 29.
Then we got to give a little tip of the cap for the defense there. Zone coverage, locked it in tight, made it really difficult because they tried the crossing route against it, and it worked for a completion. But you have to know where the sticks are on 3rd down. Didn't get beyond them. No pickup.
Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because, as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with their quarterback on the ground so much.
Now, he'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down.
But he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
to throw now on 2nd and 10. And he comes back with one complete.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that, but it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost his bread and butter is a good running back dive play.
Now they'll try to convert on 3rd and 6 after the 4-yard completion. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Desmond Trufant with a sack. The corner blitz hits home.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the Lions are going to take over with a long field ahead and a 1st and 10. Phillip Lindsay and the rest of the offense heading back out. You can count his carries on one finger. They've only given him the rock one time, Charles. What gives?
So we can't draw any conclusions just yet. He has to touch the ball multiple times in order to get into a rhythm and have a chance to have success. You know who else gets into a rhythm? The offensive line. They feel better about what they're doing when they know they've had multiple opportunities to get it done.
Yeah, well, the conclusion we draw so far, they're losing here in the 2nd quarter. Let's see if they change tunes. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Throwing on 2nd and 3. Stafford. Catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That one a gain of 20 and a 1st down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Again, it's Stafford. Open man, he's got him, the tight end Hockenson. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. And, Charles, this infraction is going to be against the offense, false start.
Sometimes you have to get up to the line of scrimmage, make sure your team is set before you begin your cadence.
It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up 2nd. A false start penalty, and now they're back to needing 10 yards on 2nd down. Flashy little move, but unable to reach the 40. They only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming. The Lions on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 8. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. So a couple of 1st downs on this drive, but it's looking like another empty possession.
And those empty possessions are certainly starting to pile up. So the adjustments that teams talk about all the time have to be taking place. They've got to analyze what's breaking down and figure a way to fix it.
And we shift to spotlighting Mike Evans. 2nd quarter here. He has only 1 catch, but they have the lead. You got to think there's going to be more involved at some point.
That's what you would expect, but sometimes what defenses do to take away a player of his magnitude, it costs them in other areas. And right now, with them losing, they may have to change their focus, and maybe he will open up a little bit more as the game goes on.
Yeah, well, so far, just the single catch. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in this 2nd week of the regular season.
Check 3, check 3. Watch the ship, watch the ship. Hey, watch the ship.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. That's caught by the big tight end, O.J. Howard. And he's brought down after a very nice game. A gain of 20 and a 1st down.
You don't have to win the 40-yard dash to still have good mobility. How about him getting outside of the pocket, throwing on the run, and picking up a 1st down?
Hey, orbit.
From the midfield strike, they'll look to throw. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. Big O.J. Howard, his intended target. But it'll be 2nd down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. And he finds Howard complete. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down. This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory even if they don't get it, though. They'll look to throw. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. McCaffrey with a first down and more. And down to the 19-yard line. So much for the run on 3rd and 1. Instead, it's a big chunk in the pass game. First down.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a first down.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long.
Go, go. Hey. Shoot. Go, Jack, big grip.
He'll drop to throw. And that's complete to McCaffrey. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down.
Hey, high 7. Hey, we got Mike 50, huh? Hey, come on, 25. Let's go.
They'll set up a throw. And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. Matt Gay now gets ready for the field goal try. This from 44 yards away. And Gay knocks this one through. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So a late 3 there, and that'll help as they head into the break.
Talk about situational football and something they've worked on since the OTAs and mini camps the previous summer. They take care of the ball, get 3 points, knowing they're going to get the ball to start the second half. That's the old 2-for-1 special to finish things off.
The punter Pinion now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. They'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman.
Okay, Brandon, we'll get you back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, it's time for a trip around the NFL following an eventful opening weekend. Let's see what's happening in Week 2. We'll begin up at Bank of America Stadium in Uptown Charlotte, where it was the visiting Saints who were able to walk away with the road victory. Drew Brees, 3 touchdown passes as his guys bounced back from the defeat on opening weekend. From there, let's head off and check out a second game. And they were winners in that one as they take care of the visiting Chicago Bears. Marlon Mack, a touchdown run in the victory. Lastly, let's get out to Jacksonville, see what's happening with the Jaguars at TIAA Bank Field. And that game all tied up with the visiting Green Bay Packers. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a defensive struggle. Which offense can break through in the second half? To find out, let's hand it over to our broadcast team of Brandon Gotten and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. Fielded about a yard deep. So quick on the spin.
He's spinning, man.
And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. A throw over the middle, taken in. And touchdown! Odell Beckham, his third touchdown now on the year. And his guys now an extra point away from taking a 3-score lead. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, second half, no matter what. Whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. So we get a look at the Lions offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
On second down, a run with Lindsey. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Well, that was a unit that understood exactly where the first down marker was, handed it to their guy who could run it, created some space, and he got there.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. A shotgun snap for Stafford. He gets it to Matthews, complete, and able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. 23 yards on the play.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Stafford got this complete to the rookie out of UMass, Andy Isabella. And he gets it down to the 32. A gain of 6 there on first. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Stafford now to throw. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And the end result, a Detroit touchdown. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. Fielded about a yard deep. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. So here is the home side to take over on offense. They were able to extend their lead with an opening drive touchdown here in the third quarter, but that just got matched a moment ago.
So we know that what they discussed at the half worked. Now, what are the counters to that, right? You don't just run the same things over and over. Some do, but many will also show something and then come back with something else to keep the...
This is caught at the 20. And he is able to take this way down into Detroit territory. And a huge play that time. 52 yards. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone.
Watch the run. Watch the run. Check 24.
Back to throw here. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Different story this time around. We had that huge gain, followed by a sizable loss here. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
And he will take this one in for a touchdown. O.J. Howard, his first touchdown of the new season. And his guy's now an extra point away from taking a 3-score lead. So the quarterback drops to throw, looks over, and boom, a guy that wide open. He has to be thinking, wait a minute, this is some kind of a dream. This is too easy.
Yeah, a great dream. One you don't want to wake up from. But for the defense, almost feels like there was a bust in coverage.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. The Lions offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he could break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still. Oh, a hit. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground.
Sack, baby. Sack, baby.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
3rd and long. It's Stafford. And he'll find Galladay. That's complete. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. They'll get 17 that time, and the Lions have a first down. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
Now Stafford. And he fires one that's intercepted. He's picked off at his own 47. There he goes left side. And this will be a touchdown. Here's Gay now to add the extra point. And the lead is now 24. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And fresh off the pick six, they've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like what we talk about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory, right back out there doing the things that he does best, and knowing that taking care of the ball is paramount, Here's his opportunity.
It all comes back to those defensive backs for the former DB, right?
I don't know where that comes from. It just kind of emerges out of me for some reason.
Deep in there, right? Stafford. He's got it to Matthews, complete. And he'll have a gain of 3 to the 33. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. That first down completion only netted him 3. Second and 7. Here's Stafford. He's going to let this one go deep. And that's caught inside the 35. Touchdown, Detroit. Andy Isabella, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Lions are able to cut into this lead. Well, if they're going to make a game of this in the second half, they need a few big plays to go their way. That's one.
And the way to get it done is to also conserve time. So to your point, that big play right there, now you're not moving the ball downfield, taking time off the clock. You're leaving yourself a better avenue to continue to try and make a comeback.
That's fielded in the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the third quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. Back now in the Rose City of Portland, Oregon, as we are set to bring you the home stretch here, the fourth quarter. This quarterback now 12 of 15 throwing the ball, 80% so far, and it's 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. He was trying to get that one into the hands of Christian McCaffrey. But it's going to be second down. They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. They'll set up to throw. It's caught by OBJ. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air, and sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defender.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Trey Flowers able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at the 20. To throw is Stafford. He'll get this one to Galladay. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. They were looking to throw, holding on the big right tackle.
That's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. You're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide. Usually going to pick up a holding call.
Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage. We've seen this a few times in this game. That offensive line, just, I don't know if you want to call it out physical, out tough, whatever you want to use.
And what people do when that is happening, when they're getting dominated that way, they spread things out a little bit, make it more of a space game, and allow your skill position players to make a few plays out in open field. Take away the physical element, gives you a chance.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Here's Stafford. And this is going to be incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
It's a 45-yard punt, but a decent return there of 9 yards. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field.
50 seconds to Mike. Keep it up, defense. Keep it up, guys.
Now a 1st down carry by Jones. And he's got this down to the 35. A good gain of 12 yards that time. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Looking for more there on 1st down, but this throw downfield, incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35.
Hey, Haywood. Quarterback, don't get nervous now. We ain't beginning to tear you up.
They're going to look to throw. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. JPP cruising in for the sack that time. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
And it's caught. Touchdown. Mike Evans. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead. Gay is on for the point after. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. A drive there of just 4 plays. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Stafford. It's a 4-yard pickup, and they're going to face a 3rd down. The Lions on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. Here it's 3rd and 2. Now it's Stafford. Catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. Only a pickup of 2, but that's all they needed for the 1st.
They got a completion there, but that's clearly an example of one side happy, the other side not very happy. Defense, hey, take 1 or 2 yards, we're good with that. Offense, you got to expect to get more on the passing play.
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Partney sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, you're going to sell the go, just go, and let's see who's faster.
Complete to Jones. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down. Stafford going to come up 1st and 10, and he's hit on all 5 of his pass attempts on this drive so far. Back to throw, Stafford. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. It's going the other way. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. They'll try and start this drive in the air. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down. 2nd and 10 now from the 27.
Echo. Get it.
2nd and 10. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete.
Get to the ball. Get to the ball.
Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo.
Opposite.
Alert 3.
Hey, foxtrot, foxtrot.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Trey Flowers able to record his 5th sack of the season. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair.
Good job.
So it's our home team here in possession of the football as we come back. They've got a 2nd down now as they look to salt this one away. Now left side on the swing pass. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. It's a gain of 35. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Open man is Howard, the tight end. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10.
And they just had another big completion there. And I think in days gone by in the NFL, you might have asked, is this a little bit of overkill? Is this rubbing it in? I don't think people feel the same way nowadays.
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Looking like they're well on their way to a 2-0 start. All smiles right now on that sideline, isn't it?
As well there should be. It's hard to win a game in the NFL. We hear it all the time. We know that it's difficult. But guess who's smiling? But inside is thinking 24-hour rule because we're going to have to play again next week.
Boss man.
Oh, without a doubt. The head coach, he wants them to feel good, but at the same time, find a way to keep improving.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Blue 16. Let's go. Alert. Topper.
They'll fake it. Now Stafford. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 49. And what a return as he brings this all the way back down to the 20-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive, and he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Give him 6 on the play, and that'll make this a 2nd down. 2nd and 4.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long.
Watch the twist. Hey, switch gears.
Smooth. 5.
They'll look to throw. He's going to take a shot for the end zone. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it out past the 30. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. This is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't, because now is not going to erase what's happened during the game. So after it's over, you're going to go to the film, find out where the game was really lost. But this is not a situation now where you're going to make up for anything.
We'll see what they do here. 2nd and 10, Stafford again. And that is incomplete. 2 seconds left on the clock. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. One last throw here for Stanford. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory, and the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week, we'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points, allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the home team here, they used a favorable early schedule to their advantage as they move to 2-0. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for Detroit, they'll drop to 0-2, and they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.